This conference will now be recorded.
So last session we are going through creating services for IAM, that means DNS names, and also for storage service. So storage service and also DNS services. And using storage, we can create different types of storages. We can create container storages, also we can create file storages. And then DNS is for routing purpose, like hosting purpose. So let's try with today with databases. So try to create databases. Again, these are platform as services. You all know that. So, and here how Azure has Cosmos DB. So with help of this, we can create databases as platforms. So there is Cosmos DB, and here you can find that under database services, and then you have Cosmos DB there. And you want to create SQL databases, you can also create SQL databases, or else you want to create SQL servers itself, you can create the servers. Okay. So SQL product is from Microsoft. They have different options available for SQL purpose. Okay. Right. So let's go with Cosmos DB. We're creating different databases. Yeah. So go with add database. So just go with just enter the resource group. So whatever the resource group there is, and then account name. So account name. So where is the account name? Is so that's account name. So let's say test CAS and DB. That's my account name. And then so there is your API, which is Cosmos DB is a multimodal database platform. And then further you want to provide your own API. Okay. So now you can select your databases over here. Okay. You can create Cassandra, and then you can create PostgreSQL. Okay. And these are Azure Cosmos DB for MongoDB API. So this is what I said. So you can also do that for MongoDB. Okay. So this MongoDB, Cassandra, and then and Gemini. So these ones are, so these database platforms are not available in AWS. So these are different database platforms. So whenever we have requirement, so especially MongoDB, Cassandra are used by even in some of the projects. Okay. So in that case, so you must go with Azure. But so the drawback is, so SQL, Microsoft Azure does not have any Oracle databases. Okay. So and what else? And we have any of the databases which is provided by AWS. AWS has Oracle and SQL Server, Microsoft SQL they have, and also have Amazon Aurora they have. Okay. Anything else? I think they have a couple of more. Okay. So, but these are the best advantages they have. Okay. So MongoDB, Cassandra. And going with location, so it's the region. So select the regions, and then well, so they provide some discounts with this free tier account. So you want to apply the discount, free tier discount, you can create the free tier discount. Then so go with next, and then so geo redundancy. Hope you remember this. So in AWS we have multi AZ deployment, right? Multi AZ deployment, and the same thing here. So you want to go with multi-easy deployment concept, and I'm running this for production purpose. You can go with multi-easy deployment. So this is what is here redundancy. But they have two things. They have geo redundancy. They have multi-region writes. So they have two things. So you want to enable it, and you can enable it. But AWS has only one option, which is multi-region option. But here they have multi-redundancy option. So that's advantage. Okay. So what do you mean by multi-redundancy? Geo redundancy means, so global distribution on your account by pairing US West and US East. You can add more regions. And then, so here this is, so, and this is for advantage of provision for throughput for databases continuous across the globe. Okay. If you want to have more, what we call, so they say that provision kind of throughput, they can go with. So is multi-region, and then orange geo redundancy means this is for multi-region deployment. Anyway, so go with the next. And then your network connectivity, again the same thing, whether you want to have it available on so multiple networks or single network. You can go, if you want to have single network, you can go with so private network, or you want to have that available on so public networks. You can have it available on public networks, or you have no priority, which is open for all. You can go with all networks. All networks will be access this Cosmo DB account. Okay. Then the backup strategy. So like you want to take some backups, how frequently you want to take the backups. You see that all the things are pretty much similar to AWS, right? Networks and then multi-user deployment, backup strategy. So whatever the platform, even if you go with GCP, so we come across same kind of options. And backup interval, so you want to take backup for certain interval, and you can set the minutes or hours. I want to go with, let's say, hours, 1 to 24 hours, go with 1 to 24. So every 24 hours. Okay. Backup retention. So how much retention time you like to maintain. So go with, so let's say so 48 hours, let's say, right? So this is a retention time. Okay, retention time in sense how long would you backup be saved, like how long it takes. Okay, so backups will be saved. I mean, for how many hours you want to save your backups, that is what I mean. Okay, so I want to save it for next 48 hours. Why 48 hours? So 48 hours means I'm taking my backups for every 24 hours. I want to keep my backup for at least, so next 48 hours, or let's say I want to maintain for 1 week, let's say. Okay, so since I want to maintain for 1 week, I'll go with, let's say, 480 hours. Not 480 hours. So how much is whatever, go for 1 week. So I'm not sure exactly. 48, 48, 20, 42, whatever. Let me check this. Yeah, calculator. So 24 times, let's say, 7, so 168. So with 168 then. So, and then just scroll down. Okay. Scroll down, scroll it down, and then you have copies of data retained 7. You see that I'm saving for 1 week. So how many copies have you been maintaining? 7 copies. You can see that backup, storage redundancy, again geo redundancy, and where you want to store your backups. Okay. Also open backups and geo redundancy backup, or you can go with locally, whatever. And then next. So these are your service managed key. How you want data needs to be protected. Okay. So I want to go with some protection to your data, kind of encryption, let's say, service managed key or else customer managed key. So what if you have customer managed key? Then you need that key actually. You need to get the key from MongoDB and get the key over here. Else, Microsoft itself manage the key. So let the Microsoft manage the key. And the tag, you want to use some tag name with tag name. So here we have the resource types again. That's our resource type. It's already selected. So and so go with next. So this is our validation check pass the database. So let's import this. And once it has been so deployed, let's see so whether we can take manual snapshots and can we restore it. So we'll see that. So since it's a database, so it takes time because it has to be out of the whole database. And you see that, so here you don't have option to select the servers, right? So instances, like in AWS, when you create that, so instance, they have database instances. When you create database, they have database instance. You select the instance type as well. But here, there is nothing to select instance type. This is like pure serverless. Let's see the question details. That's what was successfully and we done. So the duration and the timestamp, you can see these for question details. Right. So now you have Cosmos DB account was created successfully. Right? And then, so what you can do now, so you go with, let's say, choose it up with the either notebook or download API. Now let's connect to using sample applications. We can also connect that. So if you have any kind of applications, for example, I have a Docker application, I want to connect it through this database. Okay, you can connect it. Well, so you can connect different types of applications and then with the help of this database. Okay. But if you want to download, let's say you want to have a .NET application and download your .NET application and then start creating download applications there for .NET purpose. Or if you have any other, let's say Java applications, let's say for example Java. Okay, and then you can start creating your create items containers. And then so you can download that. So you need to download that what we call Java runtime. So once it is done, and then extract it and run the applications. This is somewhat different. Okay, let's see. So probably this is kind of once you open it, you might be having kind of developer things. Let's see. So you see that now you have your just like in Java application. Hope you remember this structure, right? This is your Maven Java project structure, right? Then you source and then main. So all as usual you have, and then you have your form file. Okay, let's try to look at the form file. Okay, so within the form file, so you have compiler plugin. So we know all these things, right? So and then the group ID and then artifact ID. Look at that artifact ID there, and then so and then you see that that is your so main class. Okay, that's a main class. And you can see also now these are see now here we are talking about the so form file, and there you have everything is been set up. That means to what container you will be setting up. So where is the Azure, Cosmos DB? So you can see that, right? Then so yeah, that's it. Even if you like to the README file has nothing actually. It has nothing anywhere. Sorry. Where's it? So just your information like so what type of database it is, okay? And just a basic README information. And then so you can also have so the basic steps like clone the repository, and there provide some repository URL. Okay, and so just go with that repository URL. You can find the whole so information how to set up your Cosmos DB. Okay, they provide some information over there. Okay. You can also try that if you would like to try. So the steps are been given there, how to set up. Okay, so these are the steps. So this is for developers again. So they need to go follow these steps. Okay, there we have steps. So that's your related steps, and then so I want to show you that this is a form file anyway. We have gone through the form file. We have the form file already. These are license terms, conditions. So anyway, it's not required. That means we already, because it is already we have cloned it, right? Since we have already cloned it, so that's not required. But if you want, you can again even clone that with the help of the URL. That is why the readme file is given there. Well, so this is just only for help purpose. And then, so back to our database. So this is how exactly you provide that. So items, these kind of application you want to connect to, you can download it, and now within that particular application, developers can start writing the application there. The whole application Maven project itself is created, Java project itself is created, right? So, right, and then going back to overview. Now we can start even adding some containers to it. Creating. So try I'm trying to add a container over here. Then, so let's say new container, new DB container. And then new container, let's say. Okay. And for throughput, I want to have a good throughput, check the box. And then, so next is, so you want to go with even auto scale. Yes, we'll go with auto scale. And then, so try that maximum RU per second required in the resource estimated. So which is like so many read operations and then write operations. You want to go with throughput automatically. So that is like auto scale time. And then this is your, so what we call after this storage. So storage in the sense, this is for, one second, I'm sure after 40 GB, the data store will be so automatically updated on the new storage. That means if you reach beyond the 40 GB, that cost us, and this is the cost about. See that it's very expensive. And then, so, and you want to create an container. Let's give some container new. Okay, and you want to create some indexes. You can create the indexes for so faster access of databases purpose. And then, so any kind of so partition key, and partition key in the sense you just provide kind of what do you call what do you say that the key is used to have a I have distributed kind of systems, and then if you have distributed systems, I want to have kind of equal pattern then. So then same pattern, let's say something like, okay, let's say then my partition key nodes, okay. Okay, just enable it. That's okay. Just click on OK. should be creating a container first. So that's a container. Okay, and then so here. So this is, you see that this is somewhat what we call uh, the data. So whatever the data you store, then the data will be available on this container. So, and they have a kind of a GUI interface kind of thing, right? So, and you want to set up some, you want to create some items in the database, you can create the items. I want to create some new item. So, new item. We want to upload item, you know, the database. You see that this is all like kind of database. So they have editors, they have database editors itself. Okay. So if you are into database, you know how to write this kind of database coding. Okay, we can do these things. Right. Yeah. And then, and you can also, if you have any items there, you can also upload the items. Right. That is, and you want to create some store procedures. So then you can create store procedures, and you want to go with set up some triggers and set up some triggers. See that we have set up the whole database itself, right? The database, and we have database editor. But whereas in AWS, so once you create your databases, you need to provide, you need to go to the database editors from outside, install the editors, and then so then you can go with log into the database when you modify it. Right? Those kind of workbenches are not required here. Straight away, you can create your database itself and modify the database. Right? So that's an advantage. But, and you can create databases, you can delete databases. So that's a container. Container has your databases, right? On data. So let's say delete that. New container, delete the data. Container itself is nothing but a database. Confirm the database ID. Where is the database ID? I think you confirm the database ID. Anyway, so once you confirm the database ID, and you will be able to delete it. Okay. So, well, this is how to create your databases. Let's create a different database. So let's go with SQL database. Okay. Let's get SQL database. Here, previously I was creating a Mongo database. Now I want to create a SQL database. So all the way it's all same. And then, so forward here. Now again, the same steps. So resource type is all same. So very similar steps. And database name, let's say capital CS, and then for SQL, that's my database name, and your SQL server. So no items available. Let's say create a new one. So your server name, let's say SQL Server. I'm creating my server now, and this is your admin login password. So let's say capital, and the password is also same. Password at least 8 characters. Sorry. Okay, I think that should be okay. We also need to have some special character. Okay. We want English characters, numbers. Okay, we have numbers. We don't have numbers. It should be okay now. Password cannot contain all part of the long name, part of the login name is defined as gr no consecutive. Ah, says login now. Login name, username and password cannot be the same. Okay. Okay. Well, so I changed it. Now going with next. Confirm password again. Okay. And so what are the region that is? Select the region. And your subscription does not have access to create servers in selected regions. Okay, with my subscription, I cannot select that in the US East region. So of course there are always some limitations, and where I can create that, I'm not sure. Just we need to check this. So these are all free subscription types. So can we do it somewhere in India? So let's find out. So I'm getting no, it's also not allowed. Where I can create that then. So we need to do some trial and error methods. Not even strict enough. Right. So which regions? I don't think so. They allow us to with this. Okay, fine. So somewhere in France they allow this. Let's go with France. Okay. And then next you want to go with elastic pool. So this is elastic pool is so if you're running multiple database and queries, and then you want to run them with the help of kind of elastic pool whenever you have so more you want to create some more databases, more containers in it. So you can go with running these elastic containers. So you can say this is kind of very replica purpose simply. Okay. And then your instance size here. See that now this is kind of we are creating servers over here, and just like in RDS service. Right? In RDS, we have a concept called create servers, and you can select the instance types and you can deploy your databases. The same things I'm doing now. Okay. Your servers concept now. You're creating a server. Okay. And you can select your different servers also. Okay. So configure database instances. So the basic, this is a basic one, and it's a basic that's minimum one. Database maximum size is maximum size. I want to go with the minimum size. Okay, so go to the minimum size. And premium is not available. So why the premium is not available? Go with the basic first. Go with the basic. Look at the basics. This is the basic one. So 100 MB and then so 5 units. Okay. So and then standard. Right. So this is your standard. And then you have premium. Now anyway, so go with the basic one. Let's see. Next. So and then again, network access. This is your securities. Next. And then so you want to go with enable SQL Server start free trial or not now. So this is the charge. Get started in 30 days free trial. The charge is something. So to start the free trial. So go with next. You don't want to try the free one. And additional settings like database settings. What are they? So which is like database backup. Do you want to take a backup? Go with the backup. Okay. So this is your if you have any backups, you can select the backup strategies. So then we don't have any backups. So you need to create the backup set. So, you want to go with simple backups. Take a simple backup that will be taking a backup, automatic backups inside, and then go with next and tags. Skip the tags, and then you have review. So create a so it's in progress. Well, so that's ready. Now go to resource. Well, so there it is. Now here you have your database. Then so this database, and there you have SQL Server. That's your server name, SQL Server name. So then we like to go with so what you can do with the activity logs. You have activity logs there, and then you can see the logs there. And then you can do here. So like when the database was created, you can see the whole information. Okay, this kind of activity log. And let's check the geo replications. So now geo-replication, you want to configure the geo-replication. You can configure the geo-replication, target replications here. So let's see whether are we allowed to do with our free trial accounts. The primary is in France, of course, but so can I select the other regions for the free trial account? So I'm not sure, but let me give it a try. As we have tried it already, the primary was not so reflecting, but secondary. So can I do for secondary? I'm not sure. I have selected US East. So I don't think so. It will allow us for the J replication for so clear X. Okay, let's try this. So select a US East. Let's again have tried it. And then select your database. Already exist. Okay. So we have a new one because Geo replication. Okay. So let's say so give the same name cap SQL SQL Server CAS and let's say backup. Instead of saying backup, it's a replication. It's not a backup, it's a replica. But go with the replica. Okay. And then so what's next? Server admin name. We give the admin names there and the password. Confirm the password. Okay, let's provide the confirm the password again. Okay. Now select the region here. Okay. So go with OK. And same things. So this is in Geo replica. Then go with next, additional settings, and wait. I think we are in the. So I'm not worried about that. 1 second. So is it clear? Then post is in progress. 1 second. In progress. Or did I take it somewhere? I think yeah, that is replica. Yeah, it's being deployed. So still that's in progress. So not yet created. Okay, so it's deployed for resources. Okay, so this is we have taken a replica. So since it's a replica, you can reach this. I want to connect as well. Connect on the connect. Let's say you see that you connect with Data Studios Visual Studio. If you have a video, let's see. The thing is like needed to have Visual Studio open. Visual Studio. This is so you figure that you need to download the install Visual Studio and then you can open the Visual Studio. So since you don't have Visual Studio installed, so you cannot do it. But if you want to do it, you download the Visual Studio and then start logging to Visual Studio, open Visual Studio, then have your database. Okay. And so back to the resources and check that I restore the backup. Let's try. So let's restore it. Okay, sorry. So we are and then going to restore it. So you can just for the details, you don't need to go with all of the just review them because we are restoring from that particular time. So all the details been already selected. Now next and then go with create. So you'll be reading and it cost. Comment failed. So why it was failed? So what was the reason? Let's find out. tell you. So while this underlying error might be for at least one deployment operation failed, please deployment operations for details, please. There is no business given here. It's failed. Additional details from the underlying API that might be helpful. At least one resource deployment. So, suppose it's failed, but what is the reason it's failed? Let's say. So is it because of the backup is not taken yet or what? Let's find out. So back to our backup database again. So go to resource. Okay. So let's try to. I think okay. I think the reason is we have not done any kind of operations yet. That's the reason for giving that error actually. So no operations are taking. Okay. Yeah, that is the database created recently. Restore will be available few minutes after the database is online. Yes, this is what I'm saying. Right. So it's just taken a few minutes ago. We have created that, and in order to create the databases, your database must be online until unless we won't be able to take the back. We won't be able to restore them or take the backups. Of course, yeah, that's one. Makes sense. Then back to the database, and then now you've seen how to connect it. That's okay. Then anything's needed. Okay, there is some option called sync to other databases. That is very good option. So can I sync with, but do I have any other databases? I don't have any other databases. So, but if you have any other databases, you can also sync that. So I have two databases and then I want to sync them together. So you can sync it. Oh, that's great. That is kind of a merging. So but here in the create the sync group, that's good option there. And copy, what is that? Copy, is it for so region copy? I think so. Or account copy. Okay. Well, let's see. There's any option to database name and then server. So okay, this is what I'm copying. Okay, fine. And then that's it, copy. Okay, fine. But let's see. So where we are copying to, I think we can select the, we have the server here. You do it. And then, is it only copying to the same region? Then you go with the same region. Let's see. Creating a copy. Copy means create a, just a copy, nothing else. Okay. But I want that they should provide that option. the source group and so and so. I can create a copy. It's just a copy. It's a kind of a replica copies. You're creating multiple copies for the same database. So that is a copy actually. I thought it's like they give options as yes. You can copy says and once. That's not good. So back to the database. Let it be copied. So it does not do anything for us. So back to the actual databases. So source. Okay. So yeah, any other options here? That's all this one. And you have, as usual, you have monitoring options here. That is for monitoring purpose. You can see the monitoring. And, of course, this is like Microsoft always. It's like graphical interface. So well, yeah, that's all the databases, and then you can create these two. You can create a MongoDB, also create a SQL Server. So both these you can create it. Okay. So Cosmo DB has an option to create databases for other types of databases, other DB engines. Okay. So whereas when you go with the uh, this SQL Server, see the name itself says SQL Server. You can do the server provisioning. So that is what is you can do the provisioning. Okay. And then, but here it is no provisioning, no server provisioning. Yeah. So server provisioning is not there. But anyway, so provisioning is not there. But here, whereas in this what we call databases, which is Cosmos DB, SQL Server, of course, you can do the server provisioning. That is pure serverless Cosmos DB. Here is server, and this is for other types of databases like so you can create MongoDB, right? So you want to create those kind of databases, and Cassandra, you can do that. But here, SQL Server is specifically for server purpose only, okay, which is SQL Server purpose only. Yeah. So in the next week, so we talk about security services. Also, we talk about setting up the networks and then setting up these load balancers for them. So we talk about these concepts in the next week. Okay. But, so, any questions? Thank you.